Hello and welcome to Merlin's Manor. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play the solo mode of Canvas. There are actually two solo modes in the big box rulebook. There's Painting with Vincent and Solo Puzzle. I haven't played Solo Puzzle yet, and so I'm going to be teaching today Painting with Vincent. And Vincent basically just adds a dynamic where he's going to be taking one of the cards out each round in between your turns. And so let's start out by just talking about the setup and how you take a turn. For the setup, you're going to get three different backgrounds. They don't matter which ones they are, as they're just for aesthetics. And you can even switch them out if you decide that there's a better aesthetic in there later if you want to. You're going to get 6 of these, and Vincent's going to get 6 as well. And then you're going to set out cards in these 2 rows. The original actually came with a mat that had 1 row, but now we're having the one that adds 2 rows with the expansions and all that. And then you're going to set out cards up here that are going to be the goal card. You can either do a random setup, or I've chosen to do a scenario. We're doing Fresh Start, which has composition, proportion, saturation, and shading. We're also playing with frames, so I have the frames set out up here, and then we've got all the ribbons set out, and all the extra cards are right here. So that's the setup. How you take your turn. You are basically going to, on your turn, for at least the first 3 turns, choose to take one of these cards here. If it's in this first column, you are going to be able to take it for free. And if it's in the second column, you'll have to put one of these on each of the first one, and then you can take either of these. If it's in the third column, you have to put one on each of the cards here and take that, and so on. If you were to do that, you have to do this column as well. And so you'll choose one of those cards to take. Let's say I wanted to choose this card, and then Vincent would take his turn by taking these and shuffling them up and letting them drop. And then he has 4 of these, and so this would actually slide down. We put out a new card, like so. And then he will go ahead and take and put these out, as many as are flipped up, and then he'll take from the next row. If there had been an extra one flipped up like this, he wouldn't actually put it here, but kind of helps to think of it that he's going to put it here so that he can take this, but then he's actually going to keep that in there. Because if there's an odd number, he's going to take the bottom. If there's an even number, he's going to take the top. And so even though he doesn't put it out, it helps me to think of it as him putting it out to take this one here to remind me how that's going to work. However, that helps you remember that these are going to be if it's odd, these are going to be if it's even. And so if he rolls all of them like this, he would have taken this very first card. If he'd rolled just one of those, he would have taken this card and still left that in his supply. So that's how his turn's going to work, and then everything slides down, of course, after you do all that. I'm going to go ahead and replace these. And then the second thing you can do on your turn, once you have at least 3 cards in your possession, is you go ahead and layer these however you want. And you can have up to 5 before you have to take this action. But let's say that I wanted to do these 3. You basically take your background, and you're going to put those on top, slide those into the sleeve, and then you'll be scoring based on what you see here, based on what these are showing here. I'll go over all these in just a moment. And so that's how you're going to take that action. And once you have 5, you absolutely have to take that action because you can't take any more cards at that point. And so that is the general how the game plays. Let's go ahead and get into our goal cards for this game. So the first one here is composition, and the nice thing about these is they all have on the other side a more descriptive what's going on here, how you're going to score, as well as examples of how you can score and sometimes how you won't score. And so this is composition when you score if you have all 5 colors of swatches. You notice on here on the bottom that you have different colors, you're going to want to get one of each of them showing as you overlap those. And if you'll notice also over here we have these ones that have the flip symbol on them. That means that they can be flipped over. They have a little bit different artwork there, and different for scoring is going to become a different color here. And it shows you with that small icon right there what color it's going to become, so you don't have to flip it unless you kind of just need to do that for your own kind of visual look there. So here we see poisonous on this side, has those on yellow and that on blue. Flip it, that symbol's on yellow now, and that one's on blue, and this is growth. So that is how those cards are going to work. That's how composition's working. Proportion, you're going to have 3 matching and 2 matching. And so you want 3 of the same symbol and 2 of the same symbol. And if you flip it over here, it does tell you that you can have 5 of the same symbol for that because you have 3 and 2. So here they're showing they've got 3 of the tone and another 2 of the tone, making 5 tone will count for the 3 and 2 there. And over here we have saturation, which means you need hue to be greater than any of the other symbols. And we flip this over for some extra clarification. It does show that you can have two, like a triangle and a tone, and have two hues. That's still going to be greater than, because it's just two hues are greater than the tone, two hues are greater than the shape. You're not adding up all the other symbols. You're just having more hue than any other symbol in there. And this one shows how it doesn't score because there's two hues and two shapes, as well as two hues and two of the tone there. And then down here we just have getting two tones. If you'll notice in this one, you can actually go ahead and score this multiple times a round. Some of them can only score once per round. Others you can score multiple times. So this one gives you a chance to get 4 as the max amount. And so that's, you want to do 1 per, and then maybe one of them have 2, or 2 of them have 2 to get 4 if you want to max that one out. And it shows how you get 2 just by having the extras there. So that's how the scoring is going to work for these. We also have gold, which as you see on some of these cards, and actually this was like this. This gold here is saying if you have a color on either side, it's going to get 3 per one that you have. One ribbon is worth 3 points. And so you'll be able to get a ribbon if you have a color here. You'll be able to get a ribbon if you have a color there. And then you have some that are going to give silver. We don't have any of those out right now. But basically it's usually per one that's anywhere on the card. And so you'll be able to get these for 2 points each. And then we also have, we're playing with frames, which for frames in the solo mode is going to require you to have at least 3 of the symbol, and that's combining let's say this one is shape and stars combined to have at least 3. You'll be able to claim this. At the end of the game, you'll get 2 points for that. And if you have at least 4 of them, you'll also get a ribbon over here. That's different from the multiplayer mode. In the multiplayer mode, you just grab it if you have more than anybody, or have the most out of what's been gotten so far. And so first thing, you go ahead and claim that, and you'd immediately get one of these ribbons. And then somebody could claim that from you, and so on and so forth, that they had more than you. And so they've changed this up because you're not having people you're competing with in this one. And so you have to have at least 3 to claim one, 4 to get one of these ribbons. It's worth 4 points. So you really want to be able to get 4 if you can to claim that, but it's still 2 points if you have that frame at the end of the game. And you can claim multiples of these frames throughout the game, up to, of course, your max of 3, because you're going to be making 3 paintings over the course of the game. And when you've made 3 paintings, the game is over, and you'll calculate up your points based on how many ribbons that you've gotten. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the game. And so we're going to be trying to score at least 42 points for this scenario. If we're not playing scenarios, if you see here, there is easy gets 35 points, normal 40, hard 45, and master 50. And so you can play without the scenarios and just randomize these, and then try for whatever score. Say I'm going to play on normal, try to get 40. And there's also achievements that you can get here. I'll leave you to discover those on your own. Let's go ahead and jump right on in. And since we got this 3 matching, 2 matching, I really want to focus on things that have multiples of the same symbol on them, or even different symbols, but I'll be able to kind of combine them. And so let's go ahead and grab this one first and foremost, and then scoot everything down. And now we're going to take Vincent's turn by taking all of these and doing that. He is going to put those 2 out and discard this card here. And then those slide down. Now, I also was liking the idea of this poisonous one here because it gives me 2 more of those symbols, which will be the 3 already. Plus, I'll be able to grab one of these rainbows when I do that. Another one I was looking at is this one here, because it's going to give me 2 of the same symbol as well in a way. But I think I'm going to focus on getting poisonous first. Maybe if this one's still around next time, grab it up. So 1, 2, grabbing this. These all slide down. That also could be a good one. It's a flippable one. So we're probably going to take one of these depending on what Vincent does this turn. Okay, he is going to boom and take this one. I actually like this. No, I like them equal, actually, I think. So he discards that one. And then I am going to... This one's also good, though, because it gives a star symbol. I'm actually going to take this one first and hope that one's still there in a minute, I think. Oh, that's going to be in the first row. He's likely to take from the first row. This one gives 3 symbols. The only way I'm hesitating on this one. This one gives some versatility. Plus, I'll be able to get 3 of these rather than put 2 out. That's the complicated part. You know what? I'm going to take these. Just gives me future abilities to do things. I'm going to hope this one is still there in a second. Probably a mistake. If he rolls 1, he's taking that. He rolled 2. So there we go. He's going to take this one. And he is out, so he's automatically going to take this one next turn because he has none to put out at all. And so I am now going to take this one. I have 4. I need to start thinking what my 5th one is going to be really bad because it needs to be something that will work for playing this next round, not just for planning for future rounds. And so we'll have to work that out. I do think I'm going to try for something like this and then work from there. Although that's not the best picture because that's kind of being covered up, or even if I do that and have a color there, it could be fun. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So he's taking this. He gets all those. Okay, if we want to get composition, we need something in the red and green. If we're going with this setup. We don't have anything red and green. So the next thought is, do we try for something a little different? I mean, this could be another triangle, or it could be one of those. So we have options going on out here. This gives a lot of symbols. Oh, this would actually allow us to... We wouldn't have a green, so we wouldn't be able to complete the one thing. But it would give us what we need. Or if we try and go for this, we want something in green. And either a triangle or one of those in green. I mean, that's going to be that would give us the 3 and 2. We wouldn't qualify for a rainbow ribbon if we did that. But we would make matching. We would make composition. We would not make saturation. We would make shading. That could be a good one. It's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look pretty. So that's a possibility. The other options that we could be thinking about right now, if we want to do a big expanse, we'd need green and purple to get hue. We do have green and purple. And that would give us a bunch of those. Okay, that's the play. That's the play right there. So boom, boom. And we're going to get this one. Just shove that in the back there. And then I think this one's going to look best here. That blends too much. That moon blends too much. Let's go ahead and try it in a different sleeve. And you can always change the color out if you want to something that you didn't choose. I'm just going to go with this one, I think. See, this is... I'm not going to focus too much on that. So anyway, this is the one we're going to score. And these stars can be anything, but you have to choose and keep them the same all throughout. And so one of them is going to need to be... Actually, both of them are going to need to be those so we can get the 5 of a kind. Basically, 3 matching and 2 matching is all going to be those. So let's go here first. We're going to get 1 red. Come here. We have 5 of these gear symbols, or should I say the tone. We have 5 of the tone symbols there. And so we do get 1 of those. Then we come here. We do not have more hue than any other symbol. We don't have any hue, and we have 5 tones. Then here we come to shading. We've got this twice because we have 4 of those basically for that. We have 5. 4 is what counts for that. So we're going to get 2 for that one. We don't have any silver or gold things to go on, but we do have at least 4 symbols. So we're going to grab that, and we're going to grab this here and place that in there. And there we made our first one. We'll get 2 points at the end of the game for that as well. In a multiplayer mode, somebody could take this from us, and they would get the 2 points at the end if they still had it, but we don't have to worry about that in solo. Moving everything down, and Vincent's going to take his turn now. Even when we're making a painting, he takes his turn. And so he's going to put 1 on each of these and take this one to discard. And now we need to figure out how we're going to make these work best. I like the idea of having 4 triangles. It's going to give us 1 of those. And so if we get 1 more triangle, it could count for that. Oh, if we get this. If we get this, it's going to give us another shading. It's going to cover it up. Might not be fully what we want. Unless I can get another shading out further out. Or maybe if there's a green that comes up. Or tone, sorry. I keep saying shading, I mean tone. So we get this. Get either a triangle or a tone right here. It'll be perfect. So let's go ahead and grab that. Oh, wait, no. That's going to be full. That's going to be done if we do that. See, because I'm trying... Oh, wait, we have shading there. Oh, we already have what we need on that. So we're not going to be able to get composition with this one. But I do think it's going to be worth it for the other things we are going to get out of it. Although it's not going to look the prettiest. I focus so much more on the scoring than the looks. I know my daughter focuses more on the way they look than the scoring, and my wife, I think, kind of a mix of the two. So let's go ahead and do Vincent's turn. Okay, so we got an odd number. So think of it as placing out here, but it doesn't actually place it out, and it's going to take this one here. Again, that's just the way that helps me to remember which ones it's going to take. So now, I can make a painting right now, but since I have space, I'm going to think about if there's anything out here I want. And I really like the idea of this one, because it's going to give me more hue. I can go for one of those, perhaps. And so let's go ahead, boom, boom, and get this guy. Everything slides down. And I need to try and score a silver or gold just to show you how that works, for no other reason than that. And so I know I got these 3 stacks, so I have 4. I can take one more before I have to make a painting. And so he got 1 again, so he's going to take this one. Some dice on this one. Risky. And I'm pretty sure that's the way I want to do that one, right? I didn't even think about the flipping of this one and how it might look better. 4, it's going to do the same thing either way. Well, it might go better with what we've got going on here. A little bit, maybe. Don't know that it does. Anyway, so this one, is there anything that's going to go really well with this one? I mean, the delight, we could work on really heavily scoring using the hues. If we flip it that way, nothing gets covered up. Late delight. Sure, let's go ahead and grab that, and I'm going to layer that because I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to do it that way. Now our next turn we have 5, so we have to make a painting on our next turn. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and we got 1 left over, so we're going to skip down to this one. Now let's go ahead and make our heavy growth, as weird as this one looks. I'm going to want a different background for this one, I know already. So we fail on composition. On proportion, we got 4 and 2, so that makes the 3 and 2. So we get one of those. On this one, we do not have more hues, so we skip that. And here, we're going to get one more of these. We need to try and make sure we get one more of those in there so we can fully score that one. So we have our plan. Or one more of the colors so that we can use that for that. And we can go ahead and take this. We get a 4. And let's just kind of scoot things around here. Moving into our last few takes. We need either a color or a tone in one of these 2 spaces. And ideally, go ahead and get... Oh, wait. No, in this space. So color or tone in yellow. This isn't anything. So we could do that. But there's something that looks better with what we're working on here. This one has a color and a tone. That's a little bit of overkill. It also might look a little bit better. I may be done already at the end of this turn because I don't know that I'm going to need to take any more stuff. Because that one's going to give us one of each color. It's going to give us more hue. It's going to give us the matching. And the shading, yeah. So this is actually going to be my last turn. We could go and do a few more to see if anything better comes out. But I don't think we're going to need to. Just go ahead and shake it out. He got 3 of them. So he's going to go 1, 2, skip that card and take this one. He gets that. And then move all these down. And I guess I forgot to mention that any that are on there, you get those when you take that card. And so here we've got, well, there's some overlap, some awkward overlap. But that's okay because we're focusing on scoring rather than being cute. I do get to put this in here, although, put it in. Let's get a different one of these that might look a little bit better. Go with the theme a little bit better on this one. Let's do that one maybe. Don't know if this is going to be perfect or not. But here we go. We have Peaceful Delight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hues in there. Well, first of all, we're going to do composition. We get 1 for that because we have all 5 colors. 3 matching and 2 matching because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, well, we got on colors by itself, but we also, that's going to be shading and shading so that we can get this one. So either way, we got 2 different ways. It only counts one way. So grab a green. We got that by a long shot. So we grab a blue, our first blue of the game. And then shading, we've got that one, and that star is going to be that. And so we go ahead and grab 1 for shading, maxing that out at 4 ribbons. And then because we have 5 colors on here, we claim this as well as this. And there you have it. We did not do any of the silvers and golds. I'll show you how that's going to work in just a moment because we didn't do that in the game. But let's go ahead and do final scoring first. So the way this is going to work is we're going to look at how many red ribbons we have. We have 2 red ribbons, so that's going to be 3 points. We're going to see how many green ribbons we have. We have 3, and so that's going to be 10 points, so we're sitting at 13. Then we're going to come over here. We have 1 blue ribbon, and so that's going to give us 4 points. So that puts us at 17. Come down here. We have 4 purple ribbons, and so that's going to give us another 20 points, and so it's 47, if my math is correct there. And then these ribbons are 4 apiece, so 4, 8, 12. And I think I was at 47, right? So that'd be 59 points. And I didn't get any gold or silver. We have 2, 4, 6, so 59 plus 6 is going to be 65. 65 is our final score. That's my best score yet. If we're just going to take a quick look here, there's a achievement for Beat the Designer's top score, which is 69. So close, yet so far on that one. But that is how you play. I'm going to go real quick and try and show you. We don't have any golds or silvers out here at the moment. Let's just go ahead and there's a silver. And I'm not seeing, oh, there's a gold. Okay, so let's just show you real quick how these would have worked. And so let's say we had this one here. And it wants triangles. It doesn't care where they are. And let's just for a moment assume that we had gotten this card instead of one of the cards in here. So let's say we've done Poisonous Relief with this. Actually, this one's going to need to be on top. So it's actually become Poisonous Adventure. And so this one is going to score per triangle. We're going to get, this is going to be really big. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these things. And each of these things worth 2 points. And that's 8 points right there for that card. Problem with that, though, is we wouldn't have scored that, or that, or that, or that. So we would have gotten 8 points, but we wouldn't have got any of the other ribbons for that one. Gold is similar, except for it wants them on either side of it. And so let's just see, we've got... And so this one would get us a gold ribbon for each one on either side of those, of that tone. And so we would go ahead and get 2 golds for this one. And then just for kicks and giggles, how would this one have scored? We would have gotten composition, which would have been a red. We would have not met that one. By the way, this paintbrush means that this is going to be copied from there. And so we actually have 2 of this symbol. That's still not greater than the 2 of those. So we still wouldn't get saturation. And we didn't have any of those. And so we would have gotten 6 plus this thing, whatever it would be at the end. So sometimes it's better to go for the golds and silver. Sometimes it's not because it might mess you up for these. Kind of balance those 2 things. Anyway, that's how you play Canvas, the solo mode with Painting with Vincent here. I hope you have enjoyed this video that's taught you how to play this game, or maybe even encouraged you to, whether this is a game for you or not. As always, I hope you check out some more of my videos, and I Hope you have a great week and keep on gaming.